Hello everyone, I'm Abdul El Saeed and I'm running for the governor of Michigan in the 2018 Michigan elections this year. Over the years of living in Michigan, I found many things that I love. However, there are some issues that I would like to go over with all of you today that we can work on and fix together. So my main point here is, what can we do to make Michigan a better community overall and for everyone? Together we can rebuild our infrastructure, reduce the incarceration population in our prisons, and support women's abortion rights. So my first point is, what can we do to fix these roads that we drive on every day? So the main problem is that every time we go out and almost every road we drive on, we experience massive turbulence due to the large potholes we have in our roads. And the reason we have such large potholes, and Michigan is actually one of the most potholed state in our country, is because the harsh winter season that Michigan endures every year for 4 to 5 months, sometimes even more. But what happens is it snows, that snow freezes in the ground, and then it expands when it turns into ice, and then it ends up cracking our roads, which results in two sub-problems actually. The first sub-problem is that when we drive over these holes in our cars, it wrecks our cars, gives us flat tires, messes up our brakes, and this results in auto bills, having to get our car fixed. And the second sub-problem of this main problem is that it causes actual physical body damage to us. It causes neck problems and back problems, which leads us having to go to the chiropractor or a doctor even, which leads to more medical bills for us. And we don't want to pay any more bills. So the reason why this happens is because currently 29% of roads and 37% of bridges statewide don't meet basic safety requirements for driving. So you'd hear this and think, oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Why are we changing anything? So the reason why we can't change anything currently is because Michigan's infrastructure system is already so large and already costs so much that it does not have room in the budget to make room for the proper revenue that we need to make these investments, which also is prohibited by Michigan's constitution. So, hearing this, what I'm going to do and what we can do together is to improve our roads. We're going to take advantage of the largest infrastructure bank in Michigan, the Pure Michigan Bank. And I'm sure you've heard of Pure Michigan in the terms of travel, like the beauty of our state. So in order to bring back the beauty, we need to invest in Pure Michigan. So by making these investments, we will experience the pairing of private and public capital to rebuild our roads, bridges, and many other aspects of our state as well in terms of infrastructure. And my second point is, what can we do to reduce the incarceration population? So currently, Michigan has an incarceration rate of 11% higher than the national average in the United States. And we also dedicate more of our budget to our jails and correctional facilities more than any other state. But we don't see that that's working in any way possible, because crime rates in Michigan are already 15% higher than the national average in the United States. So what we're doing here is we're putting more people into jail, but the crime rates aren't going down. So we need to figure out how to fix that. And my two main solutions will be shortening sentence lengths and improving prison conditions. The reason I say shortening sentence lengths is because there's a lot of people who are in jail that don't really need to be in jail. That may sound ridiculous at first, but once we research and get into these cases, you'll see what I mean. Because about probably more than half, or less than half, more or less, of the population in general in the United States do not deserve to be in jail. It's for petty crimes and unfair rulings and everything like that. And then also, improving prison conditions is a basic human need. Yes, these people may be criminals, however, they deserve the basic rights as well. And my third point is, how can we protect women's abortion rights? Well, in our state we have a significant amount of conservatives, so there are constant attacks against Planned Parenthood, which is an abortion agency, if you did not know, and it's also for birth control, everything with women's reproductive rights, and also men's. So there are constant attacks against Planned Parenthood in this country, and Michigan in general. And what people want to do is shut this down, is because they don't agree with our views, and that's not the way to go. It's the woman's choice, it's her body, and I think that she should have the choice, obviously. And also, the cost of childcare is very expensive as well. So if we're not talking about abortions, I'm still going for the child approach in general. So if women have children, I want them to be able to afford childcare, and if they don't want to have children, I want them to be able to do what they want in their life. So the reason it's not working currently is because women cannot afford the correct services, which results in unsafe abortions, which they try to perform on themselves at home, which often lead to death. As well as childcare is not often affordable. So what I'm going to do is continue to provide financial support to Planned Parenthood, make connections between health clinics, as well as provide more job training for childcare. So we have those opportunities in our state. So I ask you all again, what can we do to make Michigan a better state and a better community in general than it already is? What we can do is we can improve our infrastructures, reduce the outrageous incarceration rates, and protect women's abortion rights. Thank you for all listening to me today, and I hope to see you on the campaign trail in 2018.